Hey PC gamers, and welcome back to the PC Gamer Chat Log. I am Lauren Morton.
And hey everyone, I'm Molly Taylor. Did you wanna were you good there?
Okay, look, for the last couple weeks I've been saying I'm Lauren Morton and I was like, stop saying and, just say your name and let Molly be Molly.
That's the first time you've flubbed an intro, so
I got so good at it for a hot minute there.
we went so many episodes.
Don't worry, I'll be back on my game. I'm once again clearly like roughing it this week. You can see I am not where I belong, and I am holding a microphone in my hand that is not attached to the arm that it's normally supposed to be attached to. So this is the best version of me you're gonna get this week, unfortunately. And among many other circumstances, because it's like a busy week at PC Gamer right now. The PC gaming show Most Wanted Edition is airing today, the same day as this episode is up. So maybe not the same time you're listening to it. I would forgive you if you're probably like watching and listening to the Most Wanted show, and then you get around to our show like, I don't know, the day after or like later. We'll see. But they're airing on the same day, so things are a little bit busy in here. So
a little bit busy.
Yeah,
just a tiny bit. And if you do watch the Most Wanted show, you will have seen our faces. So maybe this is your first time listening. Maybe you've listened before.
That's true. Well, then apologies for this being a roughing it episode. Go back and watch one of the other ones if this is your first time here. So thank you if you're coming in from the PC Gaming Most Wanted show after hearing us talk about Haunted Chocolatier. Those are things we definitely talk about. But today, Molly and I are kicking back a little bit, and we're going to be just quizzing each other a little bit, talking about some of our big W's and our big L's in gaming generally. Just a fun little quiz for each other. I feel like this is the final date in an Otome game that we're giving each other. Like, were you listening to me talk about my hobbies for the last 3 dates? Did you retain information about me? Can you answer my riddles 3? But before that, Molly, what did you do last week? What did you play last week?
Yeah, so I actually played some new stuff, which is very, very cool for me. I know. If you have not listened to this podcast before, I am a creature of habit. I love like the same games. I love playing games that I'm like comfortable with. But this week I played a little bit of Spirity, that like the like Studio Ghibli, like Spirited Away, mixed with Stardew Valley. Like you're like running a bathhouse for spirits, which is like a thing in Spirited Away. So it's got that kind of vibe. I'm really enjoying it. It's not like perfect. There's definitely some little rough bits in it. Some of it's like a little clunky. But I'm having a really good time. It's very cozy, which is something that I always appreciate. It's got a really nice soundtrack. The art is really nice. It's just like it's got a horrible karaoke mood. I'm so sorry. Like I love like a rhythm mini game inside a game, but I was struggling with the karaoke. But some of the mini games are really nice. You can like make food and you can catch bugs and fish and manage this bathhouse. It's really cute. I'm having a really nice time with it. Yeah. I don't know if you've played Spirity yet, because it's in that realm of like cozy game.
No, I was sort of aware of it, and then I saw that you were maybe going to play it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put that on the back burner. I'm gonna let Molly tell me how that is before I dig into it, because as you know, I'm working through my own cozy game backlog right now, kind of. So that's a bit of what I did. I talked last week about Howl, playing the demo for that, which is like a folklore turn-based like puzzle strategy type thing. It is turn-based like strategy combat, but because of the way all of the enemies work, it's really more of a puzzle because you're supposed to be able to predict them, and that's like sort of core to the combat system. Had a really good time with the demo. I now have gotten my hands on the full version, so I'm hoping to play a little bit more of that soon. And then I also tried a demo for a game that I nearly missed called Anode Heart, which is a creature catching, Pokemon alike type thing that I had not heard a lot about. And it just sort of came across my radar as I was like digging through other stuff in like the recent releases on Steam, and it makes a really good first impression. It definitely has the like Game Boy Advanced era aesthetic, like a little bit of color, like and having this like nice soundtrack. It just all the pieces seem to fit together kind of immediately. That's a thing I've talked about this year with like as I'm playing cozy games is that like the playing field is getting kind of full, like kind of stacked on like all things farm sim, all other things cozy, like creature catchers, whatever else. They're being like more and more options, especially this year. So I do, as I go into a new game for the first time, I do think really hard about first impressions and whether or not this is catching me right away because like
Yeah.
I'm just like every other player. You only have so long to like get my buy-in kind of and to be like I want to keep playing this. Like what I'm enjoying this. And I think Anode Heart I don't know if a lot of people are playing it yet, but that one did make a really good first impression. It doesn't like bog you down with a lengthy dialogue intro as some of them do. It just kind
Yeah.
of is like, you know how Pokemon works, right? It's like we're gonna tell you that you need to like collect all of them, and we're gonna let you choose between three things. And then there's this like professor-ish type guy, and it's in this there's like an overworld, but it's like sort of digital. That's like sort of the theming is everything is like sort of like analog computing era type stuff, it feels like. But anyway, it really like shorthands everything and it's like, you know how these games work. We're not gonna like beat you over the head with it. Just go on and do the things you're used to doing. I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. I do 100% know how these games work. So yeah, it was good so far. I'm gonna play more of that for sure as well. So with that all done, Molly, then it's time to quiz each other on W's and L's. We have made it
Yes.
a like two truths and a lie, except it's two lies and a truth, which is
Yeah.
not a game that anybody plays. And if I thought
But
about words,
we've made it.
we've made it. A normal person would just call it a multiple choice quiz. That's what they would say. But I am saying two lies and a truth.
Two
There's
lies
only
and a
one right
truth.
answer. Yeah, Molly, do you want to go first and pose me one of
Oh,
your gaming experiences? See if I can pick it out.
I get to go first. Oh my
Yes.
god. Do you want a blunder or do you want a win first? Which one would you like?
My first one is a blunder, so give me one of yours.
You want a blunder as well.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
So my blunder, my your choices for my blunders are these are to do with the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV.
With a free trial up to level what?
It's level 70 now. Did you
Level
know
70.
that? Yeah, it used to be level 60. We had to update the copy pasta because they made it even better. But these are all to do with Final Fantasy XIV. Okay, so my first one is I once queued for a high-end duty in Final Fantasy XIV using Duty Finder, which is a big no-no. That's a big no-no. Um, the second one is I played through the entirety of A Realm Reborn because I played this game when it first came out. I played through the entirety of A Realm Reborn without my jobstone, which is another big no-no. That is another thing that nobody should be doing. And then my third one is I peed my pants mid-raid while playing Final Fantasy XIV, um, which is self-explanatory, really.
Okay. I do not for a second believe that you peed your pants during a raid.
Why
I just,
not?
I don't know. I feel like you would be like, no, no. This is not happening to be like cover for me.
You don't
Um,
think that's something I'm capable of?
I don't think you would let it happen. Now you're gonna be like, nah, I fully did it. I think because I know that you don't like tutorials, and I have a friend who's also a notorious tutorial skipper who will just like mash A through things and then later ask questions about what he was supposed to do. And you're like, well, if you would have read the tutorial, I suspect that you could have gotten through a Realm Reborn without a Jobstone equipped
Mm.
if you just sort of like blew past that and didn't realize it was a thing you were supposed to do. And you just like roughed it out and you just like took it the hard path and you were like, no, this is just how the game is. I can deal with it. Um,
Hmm.
and then didn't discover until later. That's what I think.
So you think I played without my jobstone?
I think you went jobless for the whole Realm Reborn. Just no jobs.
Lauren, how could you? How could you think that? You are wrong. You are wrong. That is one of the few things that when I played back in like 2014, that
Hmm.
was one of the few things I somehow knew to do. I also knew about cross-classing skills as well, which is something that does not exist anymore. It
Hmm.
was like, you want to be a white mage? Okay, you have to get your black mage up to like level 28 so that you can get swift cast so that you can like cast your reses instantly. I somehow knew about that as well. The one thing that I did not know is that you should not queue for like an extreme or a savage or anything like hardcore content. You do not just check a box and queue for it. So, and that is what I did.
There is
It's a big
etiquette. There are rules
there are rules.
in
So
every MMO.
you have two things in Final Fantasy 14, right? You have a duty finder and you have a party finder. Duty finder is like you use that for your story mode dungeons, your story mode like trials, your alliance raids, like story difficulty is what they call it. Like story difficulty stuff is what you use duty finder for, right? You check a box, you queue up and it just automatically puts you with like 3 to 7 other people, depending on what thing it is. Extreme trials, savage raids, and stuff like that should be done through Party Finder, right? It's like you explicitly advertise that you want to run this one thing, and then other people willingly join, and then you go in through that. I did not know that that was a thing. I was new to MMOs when I like Final Fantasy 14 was my first proper MMO. And I had no idea that this was like a thing you had to do. I did not know the etiquette. I don't think it was like anywhere either. I don't think it was like explicitly stated to me. So at the time I was a bard main because I got my jobstone. I was a bard main and all I remember seeing was this very pretty horse mount. It was like a blue horse mount that you could get from clearing Leviathan Extreme. And I was like, that mount is so cool. I had no concept that like Extreme meant that it was like a hard version. I don't know why. I don't know why I
What does
didn't
it
like
mean?
I don't know why it didn't click in my head. So I was like, I'm just gonna queue for this. I queued for almost 2 hours. I remember, yeah, I remember it was almost 2 hours queuing to get into this duty. And then I think it was like another hour at least from there to clear it. It was, to be fair, I think I either cleared it in my first queuing attempt or we timed out and I, for some reason, queued again for like another 90 minutes and then got the clear. So I did okay. Like I learned on the fly. I would never do that now. I have far too much anxiety to be doing anything like that now. But it's one of those things that is not told to you. It's not, and it still happens now. Like if you're a mentor, you have like a specific roulette that you can queue into that's meant to help newbies. And a lot of the time you will get queued in to extreme content because people still queue for that the way that they queue for everything else in the game because it's never really like told to you that hey maybe you shouldn't do that. So like that's a very niche blunder. I would say it's a very niche blunder, but it's something that I still think about now. I'm like, Molly, how could you do
Can't
this?
believe I did that.
Can't believe I did it. And I'm pretty sure when we cleared it, I'm pretty sure the mount dropped as well, which is like
Oh,
not
nice.
guaranteed. Yeah, the mount dropped. I did not get it. I did not get it. And I think I
Oh.
tried to queue again, but at that point it was again like another 2 hour queue. And I think I gave up in the end. And I didn't go back to it until like a couple years ago. So that was my very hyper specific niche blunder that I committed for sure. It's something I still think about and get a little embarrassed about. But it's
What is
fine.
getting older, if not just thinking about things you did like 10 years ago and choosing to still be embarrassed about them? You need to
Yep.
let it go, Molly. Let it go.
I
It's
need to
okay.
let it go.
You're
Like I
more
think
experienced now.
I was like 18. I should have known how to be a gamer. Like I should have known like what I was doing. But I always think about it and I'm like, I was just a baby. I'm like, I was so young. I didn't know how to play. But yeah, I should let that go. But I still get a little embarrassed. Just a little bit, you know?
I also have an embarrassing one. Mine is about the Dark Souls series. I think I've told this
Ooh.
story to friends before, but I don't think I've ever told it to you before, Molly. Hopefully, or else this is going to be really easy multiple choice. Um, but but a blunder I performed in a Dark Souls game is either I accidentally killed Solaire of Astora in Dark Souls One, notorious, Sunshine Man. I accidentally tried fighting through the most difficult area in Dark Souls 2 first, like went there first and just beat my head
Mm.
against it. Or I accidentally burned all my effigies in Dark Souls 2 instead of using them properly.
Ooh. Ooh, okay. You can skip the tutorial in Dark Souls 2, right? You can skip.
I think you can ignore the lady in the house. You're supposed to like walk through and then like talk to a woman who like tells you some stuff.
Mm,
And I think you can probably, yeah, ignore that. I think it's been a minute since I've started
mm.
Dark Souls 2.
Which is what's making me think you somehow walked into like the toughest area. I have not played Dark Souls 2 or 3. I have just all of my consumption of those games has happened purely through like mostly my boyfriend who plays those games for fun and relaxation, which baffles me. Well, I think you're smarter than to waste all your effigies. I think you're smarter than that. I the way you're looking at me is I am absolutely not smarter than that. um oh, and accidentally killed Oh, I'm gonna say that you battled your way through the toughest area in Dark Souls 2. I'm gonna say that's what you did.
Almost. I did kind of almost do a little bit of that, but that's not the thing that I really did wrong. I
Oh
did
no.
actually burn all my effigies in Dark Souls 2. I went in Dark Souls 2 was my first Dark Souls game actually. I played it before the first
Oh.
one when it first came out. And it was like given recommended to me by like a coworker at the time who was like, "Yeah, just go into it. You'll like really enjoy it." I knew nothing. I knew nothing about Dark Souls at the time.
No.
I was living by myself. I was like away from home. I just like was just very alone. It was a very like first Dark Souls experience time of my life. But so crucially, I had like no advice, nobody to tell me what to do. And like, of course, I was just like, it's just a video game. I'll just like figure it out. Except except it's Dark Souls. So I did briefly, when you get to Majula, the like for the hub area in Dark Souls 2, I did try to go fight my way through the is it the Forest of Fallen Giants? It's the one where with all the really big tall guys, like on these like big open stone pathways, and I forget what the name of that area is. Anybody that's played the game will know exactly what I'm talking about. And you can fully just like go there first and not know what you're doing because you don't know where you're supposed to go. It looks very inviting. But I kind of quickly abandoned that because I was like, surely this is wrong. But because I did that so many times, died so many times, I had very little health. Like as you die in Dark Souls, right? You like your health bar gets smaller until you restore your humanity by using an effigy. And I had effigies, and I knew in the item description, like you're supposed to use this to restore your humanity. And I was like, okay, but like, what do you do with an effigy? You like burn effigies, right? Like that's kind of like what like I don't want to
That's
say
the
that's what they're
point.
for. There's probably other reasons to have effigies, but I feel like the word effigy is kind of malicious in nature, and so it's kind of like you can sit down at the bonfire in Majula, and it asks you if you want to like burn items. Like that's one of the choices. And I was like, oh, obviously I'm supposed to
Oh.
toss the effigy into the fire, and that is how one uses it. Ah, yes. I did that several times. I think I wasted all of them before I understood that that was not how you regain your humanity. You just go into the item your menu and you say use. You just click use and that restores your
Mm.
humanity. Or no, you offer them to her. You offer them to the firekeeper, right? Is that what it was? It's been a minute since I've played Dark Souls. Oh no, I'm just kind of like forgetting the details.
I'm the
Anyway,
wrong person to ask.
I did not realize you were supposed to use them in a different manner, so I burned them all, and then I had to find more, and eventually I did like get online on like be like, what the heck? How do you do anything in Dark Souls? And now I'm fully initiated. Love the games. Clearly, it's been a minute since I played Dark Souls 2 because I've forgotten how you do actually use effigies. But anyway, I definitely know how you don't use them.
You do not throw them in. To be
You
fair,
do not
like
chuck them into the fire. It
it's
really made sense to me.
logical. It's like totally logical to think that that is like if I saw effigy and then I saw a thing that was letting me burn stuff, I think I would also throw it into the
It's got those
fire, right?
creepy
Like
vibes. The first lady you talk to is the creepy lady in the cabin or whatever. I'm like, yeah, this is some witch shit. I'm gonna burn an effigy, and that is how I restore my health for sure.
that feels super logical. Okay, I don't think that's too
Can I
stupid.
be forgiven for this really stupid mistake? It
It's I don't think it's really stupid. I think it's a little stupid, but
there was some thought up here. There was a reason I
yeah,
did it.
it's like sometimes like you'll have actual real world logic and the game goes against that, but it doesn't really tell you that it's going against that, I guess. And it's like, oh, this thing that makes sense doesn't make sense in the confines of this random video game world. How crazy that is that that real world things don't don't mean shit in video games. I forgive you for that. I
Oh,
think
thank you.
that's
Thanks.
yeah.
Do you want to give
Again,
me
I
your
think
other blunder, or are you ready for a win?
oh, you can have my other blunder
All right, let's hear it.
because my other blunder is also Dark Souls related. Oh my god, I know. Amazing, right? Um okay. So we have that I quit Dark Souls after I couldn't get past the tutorial boss. Um, I quit Dark Souls after I could only kill an enemy by making them follow me off a cliff. And also, I quit Dark Souls after the fashion police invaded me and declared I had no drip. Those are
This
my those are
this
my
is
three.
beautiful. I would like to thank you for the nod to the fashion police of Dark
Yep.
Souls. Bless you.
They are an
One
amazing group. We've written about them before, right? About the Dark Souls fashion. Yes, you
mhm,
have written about the
that
Dark
was me.
Souls fashion police. And you should absolutely go and read that
I
on
went
our
on a
website.
full cryptid hunt for the fashion police at one point. I don't think they ever got you though. I don't think so. I think let's see. After you couldn't beat the tutorial boss, or you could only kill an enemy by jumping off a cliff. Ooh, I don't remember the exact particulars of the AI in like the original Dark Souls, or I don't know. By the time you were playing it, maybe it was like Dark Souls 3. And Dark Souls 3 does have a rough tutorial boss. Um, that is an annoying fight. Ooh, and then but all the other I'm just like now choosing to believe that Dark Souls 3 is the first one that you would have played. I feel like that makes sense timeline wise. Ooh, so tough. I like the ingenuity of jumping off a cliff, but given that I believe it's Dark Souls 3 and I remember that tutorial boss fight, which is the way it transforms the giant, like it like has a snake head or whatever that comes out, or like some kind of crazy thing with a giant tail and it starts throwing you around. That's a rough fight. I bet you couldn't beat the tutorial boss and you were just like, no, nope, we're not playing this game. We're not doing it.
Lauren, did you not hear me say about 5 minutes ago that I have never played Dark Souls 2 or 3?
No! Oh no! I have failed the third date. I wasn't listening properly.
You locked it in now.
Ruined.
Ruined. I could get past the tutorial boss in Dark Souls 1. Um, however, I was antagonized by I don't remember his name. I think it is like the first bonfire that you reach. It's in Firelink, I think it's called. And there is a man that is like sat by that bonfire and he's basically like taunting you from what I remember, he's like taunting you. He's like, hit me. That's how I remember it. How I remember it is he was like goading me into hitting him, right? And I had not played Demon Souls. This was my first Souls game. So like he kept goading and goading me, and I'm like, does he want me to hit
Am
him?
I supposed to attack him?
Yeah, I was like, am I supposed like is this something that I'm supposed to be doing? Like, is this something that the game is like very ham-fistedly telling me to do? So I don't think I did it straight away. I think I went around a little bit first and came back, and he was still goading me. He was still like taunting me. He was being a douche from what I remember. And
And then
I
once
remember
you
it really
aggro
annoying me.
him,
Yeah, I remember being like so annoyed, and I'm like, all right, like you keep asking, like, bam, smacked him with my sword, and that was it. That was it. Like he immediately aggroes to me, and he just like beats the shit out of me, kills me. I'm like, that's fine. Like, I can just be done with that and go about the rest of my playthrough. No, no. Once he's aggroed for life.
forever.
He is aggroed forever. So like every time I was respawning, he was attacking me again. And I'm I am not very good at Dark Souls either. Like I it is it
I'm
is
just
not my
imagining you
game.
dying and respawning, and then you're like, I gotta run away from this bully who's spawn camping me for the rest of my life.
Exactly, because I was like trying to run for my souls, and he's like chasing after me in the meantime, right? Oh my god, I was having such a hard time. I was getting so infuriated. But I do not like restarting games once I've started them. I have to I will start a game and I will see it through. And there's I think I ran. I don't remember how far I ran. I ran so far away. No, I just remember there being a cliff, and I think I dodge rolled off the cliff, and I remember him falling off the cliff with me. I don't know if he went to attack me and fell off that way, or if he just followed me. But that was the only way that I could kill him. It was a skill issue. It was absolutely a skill issue, but that is the only way I could kill him. And I did it, and I realized my souls were gone, and anything he had to give me was also gone because they were both off the cliff. So I did that, and I was like, okay. I was like, I think this game
I
is
think no
not for
Dark
me.
Souls.
I was like, I don't think I'm a Dark Souls girlies. I quit that game, and I say I haven't gone back to it. I played a little bit of Dark Souls Remastered. Um, I played a little bit of that with a friend a couple of years ago. Uh, it's way more fun in co-op. It is so much more fun in co-op, but I still didn't finish it. But I knew when I went back that time to not antagonize that man. I did not listen to his tormenting words. Yeah,
That's
that
almost a win in disguise. I'm glad that you did eventually manage to kill him, even if you weren't supposed to. But you turned it around. You really, I told you, I like the ingenuity of diving off a cliff, and that's how you win.
and hoping that he went with me, and he did. Like I said, I don't remember how, but yeah, I think that was my first introduction to Dark Souls as a concept. I don't remember much about the tutorial boss, to be honest. I don't remember much about that. I just remember whatever the hell was happening with that situation, because I think the tutorial boss in the first Dark Souls is really easily cheesed, if I remember correctly. I think you can come down from above.
Oh, is the Bell
I forget,
Gargoyle the one in Dark Souls 1?
maybe.
Is that the tutorial boss?
Keep
Yeah, the one where
asking me about
you can
it.
like leap down on top of him and just like insta kill him.
Yeah.
That's the Cheeto strategy that I also used. So that's right.
I'm pretty sure that would have been what I would have done at the time. So I don't remember the tutorial boss giving me much difficulty, but I do remember what's his face at that bonfire.
That jerk.
That jerk. So yeah, those are my blunders.
Nice.
There's definitely been more blunders in my time as a gamer, but those are the two that I for sure remember quite frequently.
Dark Souls will get you, man. Dark Souls will get you. That's
Dark
what we've
Souls will
discovered.
get you. If you don't know what to expect, that game will like bend you over and just spank you so fucking hard. Like just no concept of what was happening. I didn't really know what a Souls game was at the time, so it was definitely it was a toughie.
Yeah, and then if you make it all the way through that game, then you just become the worst kind of person like I am, where you're like, well, I made it out okay, so it's fine. And
So
that's just the attitude you
it's
take about the whole
doable.
series.
It's so easy. It's doable.
Okay, let's celebrate some wins then. Uh,
Yeah. Let's.
I have a win for you, Molly. This one is all about luck, ways in which I might have gotten lucky. Um,
Ooh.
did I hit a Fallout 3 bug that allowed me to kill a ton of enemies without doing anything? They all just killed each other, so I could have all their stuff for free. Did I pull Venti during my first week of Genshin Impact on my second try?
Ooh. Ooh.
Or did I roll a perfect rhetoric check in Disco Elysium to convince that shipping container to open just by talking to it? Like, notorious difficult roll at the beginning of that game, that you can talk open a shipping container instead of, doing it physically or any of the other ways you're supposed to do it. Those are my potential lucky wins.
Oh, these are really good. These are. Oh, these are really, really good. Oh my god. Um, pulling Venti on your second try would have been very, very lucky. Uh, I also got Venti. If you did get Venti, I got Venti, but I don't think it was my second try. I think it took quite a few temples to get Venti, and then I don't think I
Him
ever
and
used
Diluc
them.
were like the ones to get at the very beginning at launch, right? Those are the
Yeah,
biggies.
Venti was the good one, but I don't think I ever used Venti that much until I got Ayaka, because like the wind and the ice combo is just chef's kiss. It's wild. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Genshin. You say gacha, and I'm like my brain rot
Just
immediately.
threw you
Like,
off.
but yeah, I think you did this on purpose. Ooh, okay, okay. I really like the idea of like a Fallout 3 bug just wiping everything out. Um, but the Disco Elysium shipping container as well, just by talking to it. Mm, I think you stumbled across a Fallout 3 bug that allowed you to just wipe out waves of enemies without even thinking. I think that's what you did.
You're right, and I have a clip of it happening too.
Oh
Um,
my god!
yes, I was playing Fallout 3, and I was at the top of Tenpenny Tower, notorious, like one of the early areas of Fallout 3, and I had gone up there. I don't think I'd agreed to like blow up Megaton. That's like part of that quest that you can do, and you're like solving this issue between the Tenpenny Tower and like the ghouls who want to move in there and whatnot. But I was up in the penthouse, like talking to Alistair Tenpenny, and all of a sudden, I turn around and his guards and him, Alistair Tenpenny, are fighting each other. And the guards just like kill everyone around, his own guards, everyone on that floor. They were not shooting at me. No one looked at me. Just like I turned around, they're all shooting each other. Suddenly, they're all on the ground dead. I don't know what convinced them that they needed to like aggro each other. I have no idea what this bug is. I've never found out like if it's a common thing or if it's like happened to other people. But I like went back and checked. Like I have a clip on my hard drive of this happening. I was just like, hello. And then after that, I looted Alistair Tenpenny's nice red like smoking jacket, and I wore that for the rest of the game.
So was it with just that incident? They all just
Yep,
killed. You
just
didn't
that
have
one
to do.
incident. We were just in the penthouse. They all kill each other. I go down to the rest of the tower. No one's noticed or cares that everyone in the penthouse killed each other except for me. And I don't know why it happened, but that was just like a weird lucky win for me. Didn't have to do any messing about and goofing buckets on head to kill people. They just did it for me for no reason whatsoever.
That's crazy. Have you replicated that since, or is that
Nope.
just?
Nope. I've never tried to do it again because I just don't know why or how it happened. I think Did I already like have the penthouse suite up there? No, shouldn't have, because you would have had to have blown up Megaton to make that happen. I don't know. I'm not sure,
That's
but
such a
just real
uniquely.
goofy. I just turned around and suddenly everyone was fighting each other except for me. So
I
that's
mean,
my goofy Fallout win.
that is it's such a Bethesda thing to just have a totally unexplainable
Just unhinged
glitch.
AI just goes off and makes something dumb happen. That is a
Yeah,
very, yeah, modern
it's
Bethesda.
so Bethesda. Like I
If that hasn't
love,
happened to
love,
someone in
love.
Starfield, I'd be shocked. Surely. Surely this has happened somewhere in Starfield as well.
I love little situations like that. I'm sure like weird stuff has happened to me in my many hours with Skyrim as well, but like outside of being ragdolled into the stratosphere, I can't uh I can't think of anything where I've just not been able to put my finger on why it's
What
happened.
happened? Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a couple random dragon attacks in Starfield or Skyrim that are those are just like a staple of it, I feel like.
Hmm.
Appearing at weird moments. Anyway, that's my win. Molly, what is one of your wins?
Yeah. So uh this win is to do with speed running. Um yeah, so for a oh my god. So for a brief period, I was the sixth best solitaire speedrunner. For a brief period, I was the sixth best. That's really hard to say. For a brief period, I was the sixth best minesweeper speedrunner. Or for a brief period, I was the sixth best purple place speedrunner. Now, solitaire and minesweeper, two classic Windows OS games. Purple place is not as well known, I don't think. That was the Windows Vista um game that like came with, I think there was like a couple Vista specific games that have not seen the light of day since. Purple Place was one of them. Did
Hmm.
you play Purple Place?
No, I've never heard of this.
Did you play Minesweeper or Solitaire?
I play a little bit of Minesweeper on my phone at one point for sure, but not
Mhm.
much solitaire. Ooh. Okay, wait. So what is this Purple Place game? Like
Purple Place. So Purple
purple?
Place is like it's
I'm sorry, your accent did me in there. I was like, I'm gonna pretend I know what the name of this is. Purple Place.
Purple Place. It's
I'm not
it's
making fun of you.
I love Purple Place. I do. It's it's like a series of mini games. So there's like a cake decorating mini game, and there's like a matching mini game, and I forget what the third mini game was, but there are like little games within Purple Place as it's called.
Hmm. I I feel like I'm getting tricked because you put both Minesweeper and Solitaire in there. But
Mm.
like I know you played weird games as a kid. Like this is the thing we talk about. You played things I've never heard of before. And mini games as well. That also sounds like something that you would have done a lot of. Ooh.
Mm. I brought this up at work, but I don't know if you were working here when
Ooh.
this had come up in conversation. So I've spoken about this sort of within work group chats before. But
Hmm.
I don't know if you were here at the time.
It's got to be the last one. It's got to be the last one. Some weird unknown game full of mini games that just like screams Molly. It must be, unless you're like a minesweeper like savant and I just don't know it.
It is. Purple Place is a very Molly game, and I did play a ton of Purple Place when I had my Windows Vista laptop, but it is not what I was the sixth best speedrunner in for a very brief period. So for a very brief period, I was the sixth best solitaire uh speedrunner. Yeah, I know. So just picture the year is 2020. You know, it's the Locky D's, you know, the lockdown.
The lucky D's.
It's the lucky D, you know, everyone's like going fucking insane with the walls
Everyone's
closing in on
developing a
them.
weird new hobby all of a sudden.
Everyone's developing weird new hobbies. I was going through a breakup and I was at university at the time, and almost everyone I knew had gone like back to their parents. So I was basically like on my own in the middle of the pandemic with like nothing to do. And it was during this time I got really into watching Twitch streams. Like I would just like take a bath and watch Twitch streams like almost every day. Like that was my therapy. That was like what I did. And I was watching a lot of this streamer called Point Crew who does like a lot of really like strange and, you know, cool stuff. I think he still is doing a lot of strange and cool stuff. And one of his streams was him speed running solitaire. And I was watching it and I was thinking like, I could do that. I could speedrun solitaire. I'm like, this seems like really fun. Because I used to play a lot of solitaire when I was a kid as well, because I didn't have the internet for like a while growing up. So I was like, this seems like something I could do. Like, I'm gonna learn how to speedrun solitaire. So it was only draw one. It wasn't draw three. I'm not that like magical. I'm not that clever. It was draw one, like easy difficulty. I think was how that speed run was categorized. And yeah, I can't remember where I entered the speed running leaderboard at. I don't think there was a lot of people on there at the time, maybe like 50 or something. So there wasn't like a whole lot of people. I maybe entered in at like 30 something. And then spent like the next few days, like that was my hyperfixation for the next few days, was I just like played solitaire and like
Played
recorded,
solitaire.
just playing solitaire. Like there was nothing else to do, right? There was nothing else to do during that period. So I just played like a butt ton of solitaire and was like just shaving like seconds or like milliseconds. And I think eventually when I was sixth, I think that was like a 41-second game. I might have got that down a little bit more. I don't remember. I never broke into like the mid 30s. I think now, I haven't checked in a long time. I think the last time I looked, the record was like 6 to 10 seconds. It was something ridiculous. Like I don't know how you do that, but yeah, that was like my little like hyperfixation in lockdown for like 4 days. that's that's what I did.
4 days to become and like high like ranked speedrunner in
A
solitaire.
solitaire
Dang.
speed runner. Yeah, it they were dark times. They were they were dark times. But yeah, I was like it's an easy game, it's accessible, like it's quick as well to it's not like a 9 hour speed run or something, right? I was like accessible, quick, like easy to do. So yeah, that's like what I did with myself for a little bit during the pandemic. You could probably tell that I was single and about to graduate university. So yeah, that was my dub. Do you have another dub or another L?
I have another dub. Mine like pale in comparison to yours, I feel like. You have like a good win so far. Wait, that was your first win, but I
That's my
feel like one
first
of your
one.
L's was still kind of a win. Okay. I've got some timing related feats for a potential
Ooh.
win. Either I defeated the final boss in Jotun after 48 tries. Or I got are any of these really a win? I got my first win in Fall Guys after 2 years, or I won my first solo match of PUBG with 0 kills.
Oh.
None of
Oh,
these are truly a win. I'm not a winner at heart.
It's just turbo gamer behavior. I really want it to be the last one. Oh my god. I want it to be the last one because that's so funny. I know that you were playing a lot of Fall Guys when that came out, and I feel like I remember you saying something about this. But I feel like I know you also played a lot of PUBG, I know you played a lot of Whoa, I think it's one of those two. Oh no. Okay. Oh, which one do I want to go for? I know you played a lot of Fall Guys. Oh, I'm trying to remember if you said something about the wins, because that rung a bell in my head. But also you played so much PUBG. I I want to say that you won a game of PUBG with 0 kills.
I wish I had done that. I really wish that that were true. You're right. I played so much PUBG, and my play style was definitely a zero kill play style for a while there. I did eventually get more confident with my third person shooting, but truthfully, I am a PvP stealth enthusiast. I just,
Mhm.
run around, loot, hide, make it to the final circle. And I would have loved to have at one point pulled off a win, a chicken dinner with 0 kills and just like had the final person, like they're stuck in the gas and it's me, I'm the winner. No, my only win in PUBG was in duos. No, it was squads. But it was me and my partner who were left at the end, and he carried me to victory. That is the truth of my
Aw.
only PUBG win. No, in fact, I did win my first and only game of Fall Guys after 2 years, not consistently playing Fall Guys, but it
Mhm.
did take 2 years of loosely coming back to Fall Guys before I finally won a round of
I feel like
Hexagon.
I feel like
One,
you might have actually mentioned this on a previous
it's
episode of the
possible.
podcast. I think you might have spoken
Ooh,
about
I might have
this.
given it away. Yes, I did. It took me a long time. I clearly, me and battle royales, I love them, but I am not a winner. I'm just here for a good time, not a long time. If I make it into the top 10, that's a winning day for me. But I did. I told my friends for ages, like they'd all won matches eventually, and some of my partners, some of my friends have gotten back into playing Fall Guys. It's like their palate cleanser after playing Rainbow Six Siege right now. Like when they
Mm.
get too annoyed at Siege, they'll just like turn on Fall Guys instead. Um, but I did finally, after 2 years of playing with them, I did win a round of Hexagon, the one where you're like hopping from the little things and there's like multiple layers that you fall through. And I knew,
Yeah.
like, of all the ending rounds that were in Fall Guys at that point, I was like, this is the one I can win. Eventually, I will win on Hexagon. I'm never going to win the one with the spinny deal and you jump over the thing, the little
Mm-mm.
top like that. I can't do it, but it's gonna be Hexagon. So I did eventually win a round of Hexagon, and that's as close as a W it gets for me.
That
Unfortunately,
is
that is as
more
much of
games
a
of Fall
winner as
Guys
I
than
am
I have
capable of.
won. I don't think
What?
I've ever won a game of Fall Guys.
No.
No. So that's one more than I've won. I've won like 1 or 2 games of the Final Fantasy 14 Fall Guys as well. It is
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, I've won one, and that was when it was just our friends that got put into a lobby. There was like 5 of us. So it's not a real win, to be honest. So that's one more than me. That's
Hey,
crazy.
thanks. All right, tell me what your last win is. I don't know. Being
Oh
like a
man.
speedrunner is very impressive. So I know you're gonna impress me with your last one too.
I don't know. I don't know. I have. Okay, so number one is I once won a Mario Kart 8 tournament. This is a non PC gaming one. So I once won a Mario Kart 8 tournament. I once won a Tekken 7 tournament, or I once won a Dance Dance Revolution tournament.
Hmm. Interesting. This is definitely testing my Molly lore. If you had won a Tekken 7 tournament, I would have heard about it. I
Yeah.
know that you've gone like 1 and 2. I don't know if you've done better than that in tournament yet, but I know we were like excited about you going 1 and 2 in Tekken 7. So I don't think you've won a tournament. We we saw you shared pictures on social media of being at another tournament, but I don't think you won. Maybe you got really far. Ooh, oh no. I'm debating myself on this. I'm just discounting Mario Kart entirely. Sorry, Mario Kart tournament. That could totally be it. And then, oh gosh, what was the last one though?
Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah, ooh, because see, I, I know how much you're at the arcade, and I know you do the dance games, and I know it's more Dance Rush than DDR now, but like
Mm-hmm.
DDR historically, I feel like you could have killed it at a DDR tournament. I feel like that's the one that you've won.
You think?
Ooh, I don't know. It could be any of them. It could truly be any of them. I'm hoping it's
Hmm.
not Tekken and I've not forgotten something important. I'm gonna say you didn't freaking win that tournament you posted pictures of. No. Anyway, tell me. I think it's DDR.
You think it's DDR? I wish I was good enough to win a DDR tournament. There's like me, and then there's like actual good DDR players. It is not even close in skill level. You are right that I have not won a Tekken 7 tournament. I have gone
Okay.
2-2. Yeah. Whew.
You've gone 2
Uh
2 at this point, though? Okay. I did
I've
not
gone
commit that one to
2-2.
memory. I failed.
But I have not won a Tekken
Okay.
7 tournament.
I was gonna be so
I
sad if I was wrong about that.
I think the one you're thinking of is I entered a Tekken 5 tournament as well, and I came like
Oh.
fourth or fifth or something like that.
Mhm.
I got top 8 in that one, which was pretty good. But I did enter a Mario Kart 8 tournament on a whim and won. Which was very, very fun. It was at like a convention, right? So it wasn't
Oh,
like
okay.
a it wasn't something that I signed up for like in
Mhm.
advance. It was like it was happening on the day and you could sign up for it on the day, which is what I did. And this was when Mario Kart 8 like the DLC was just coming out. So it was like the Animal Crossing DLC and stuff. Um yeah, so I like got up on stage. I had the gamepad and I distinctly remember the guy next to me being really unhappy that I got the gamepad. um and because it was the DLC, they were making us play the DLC tracks which I didn't own. I didn't own the DLC tracks, so I had like no map knowledge except for I think the course we played I think it was the Animal Crossing course, and I think the Animal Crossing course has Maple Treeway on it. I was only familiar with like one course in the pack that we played. I had no knowledge of the others. Um and it was like so close. It was incredibly close, but I managed to win it. I got a very cool like special cup trophy for winning as well, like an actual like it's
Like a
quite
real
heavy.
physical trophy.
Like a
Dang.
real physical the special I think it's a special cup trophy. It's like the crown with like the little red jewels on top of it. No, that's not the special cup. That's a crown cup. It's literally a crown. I think that's the crown cup. It's that trophy anyway from like that cup. I won, and I remember the guy next to me that was unhappy that I got the gamepad. I remember him distantly making a comment that the only reason I won was because I had the gamepad, and that he couldn't see because he like didn't have good vision. And I'm like, I don't think the gamepad would have helped with that. I don't think you would have been playing the gamepad like this. There was like a television screen in front of us, which I was also using. I was also using the screen. I wasn't using the gamepad. So I was like, I don't know why you're complaining. But
You won on just pure gamer instinct. You just locked in. You're like, I don't know these maps, but we're gonna get it done.
like just such a good gamer. No, I'm like I'm not the best at Mario Kart, but I would say that my Mario Kart skill level is above average, which definitely helped.
I'm
So yeah,
atrocious at Mario Kart. Just awful.
I'm 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 pretty good. I want to say I'm like pretty good. My I do have like a handful of friends that I just don't play it with because I get very annoyed whenever I whenever I play. So, but I do have friends that are way better than me as well. But yeah, that was really fun. That was in like 2015 or something. That was so long ago now. And a bunch of the red things fell off the trophy, and I never got around to super gluing them back on. It's like up in the loft at the minute, but one day I'll bring it back down and I'll display it somewhere proudly. But yeah, that's like the only tournament I've ever won was this random ass Mario Kart
Mario.
tournament. Yeah, I came very close to winning at another convention recently. I came very close to winning a Tekken 8 tournament, but that was kind of because everyone else was just I say they weren't worse. Everyone else was just I got very lucky in the way that I progressed, and then my final game was against this very talented commentator, Spag. Uh he's obviously a very good player because that is his whole that's his life, that's his career, and he beat the ever loving shit out of me. So that was grand finals. I came very close in some random tournament in which I'm pretty sure I wailed on a kid. I'm pretty sure that was my first game. It was like a literal child that I showed no mercy against. So it
Not in a
doesn't
tournament,
count.
man. No,
Yeah.
you gotta learn to play with the big kids.
Yeah, into the tournament, you gotta know how to play, man. Instead, I just had like him in my ear going like, "Why do you keep doing that?" And I'm like, and I was like, "Sorry, little guy." I tried to teach him afterwards, how to play, but I was like, "This is how you block." And then I was like, "Look, you're blocking my attacks." But then he was like trying to hit me while also blocking, and he was like, "Why is it not working?" I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, I'm a bad teacher and you're a bad student. So,
This is not working out.
yeah, this
We're
this
gonna
is not
need
working.
to.
This is not working out. You need to find someone else. But yeah, tournaments are super fun to enter, even when you don't win. So, highly recommend everyone go to a tournament for your favorite game at least once and try it.
Well, Molly, I think I'm gonna declare you the winner of this tournament. I think
Oh,
you might be the winner of winners. I think your wins were better for sure,
I
and
don't
I think your
know.
L's might have been better too. You took it.
Mm.
You got it.
I don't know. Your Fallout 3 bug. I really want to know more about that. That's really like that's tickled
I'll
my
go replay the tape again and see what I can find out. I'll start looking
yes.
around, see if anybody else has experienced this weird 10 penny penthouse massacre situation. But
A Lauren Morton investigation shall commence.
yes, exactly. Well, thank you, Molly, for chilling with me here on this week in the midst of the PC Gamer Show Most Wanted. As we said, make
Yeah.
sure to check that out over on our YouTube channel and other places, but definitely YouTube channel for sure. And you can always catch all of the coverage from that as well on PCGamer.com about all the games that were shown in that show. And just, the other things we do all the time. Molly talking about going to tournaments and me talking about trying to hunt down the Dark Souls fashion police, all the many silly and fun and great things, the W's and L's of regular gamer life that we get to talk about on the website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, Molly. Bye.